What's up, everyone? I'm the Panda Photographer. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Just gonna wait a few more moments before we start, so be patient. But in the meantime, you guys can ask me questions. But if you're watching this after, you can ask me your questions down in the comments down below. Just reading some emails, some comments from previous videos. You guys are curious what I'm doing on my iPhone right now. And basically I'm trying to respond to comments. I'm trying to read them first. But I'm going to explain why these top 5 must choices. If you're beginning photography, you want to begin shooting photography, or you're new to photography, or this might be something that someone that has already been in the art of photography is struggling with. What are the 5 key must-have gear and must-do? So this is going to be a do and gear review, or video. Let's just say video. Why is it not showing me that I'm live? That's so bizarre. So bizarre. So lately I've been playing around with the color balance on the Sony camera, and I'm going to have to explain myself why I'm shooting in neutral. Now my sharpness is down -1, my contrast is down -1, but my saturation is a little bit boosted by 1. And I like the neutral profile. I really do like this profile. It makes sense to me to use it. And I noticed in my other live streams, over sharpening was the problem. And I need to turn that down just a little bit. But, oh, don't mind the new layout right now. It's in my works. I'm just trying to figure out how to balance colors, because I want a springtime theme for my YouTube. I guess I'm calling it a YouTube live stream template, and right now it's still in the works, so don't mind the text that looks like it's on fire with yellow, and don't mind the 606 icon. I'm just gonna fix that. Don't worry about that. But I was trying to go with a spring theme, and it's working, but it's gonna take a little bit of tweaking. So, but anyway, and I do have a live chat box onto my left here. So, but anyway, guys. So let's talk about the 5 top must beginners and photographers choices. And the reason why I'm bringing this conversation up right now is because I really want to help photographers understand, and people that are new to photography, that, let me just turn this down a little bit. I want to help people understand a few things. One, if you're going to be shopping for a camera, make sure that this is going to be the camera that you're going to use primarily for whatever category that you're going to be shooting for. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And we're going to talk about all these must-dos and gear that you should be looking forward for. So, with that said, everyone, I'm the Panda Photographer. I'm a travel photographer, travel consultant. I help people with a lot of situations. I help people consult on a few bases on problem solving. But as a travel photographer, I have my fair shares of ups and downs. So I'm just being more transparent, being more honest about how I bring my content to the community. So this is going to be an hour stream, so I am timing this hour stream. So what is going on with my mouse? Oh boy, it's always a problem with live streams. But if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at 646, sorry, the Panda Photographer, all one word, just like this YouTube channel. And if you don't mind, I'm going to shoot to page 4 really quickly. And you can go to check out my Instagram if you must. Follow me. Shoot me a DM if you like. I always respond to DMs. So I'm not one of those photographers that you leave a comment and I won't respond to it. I'm one of those photographers that will respond to it. So, but you can go to my website at 646studios.com. You can check out my gallery. You can check out some of the tutorials that I have written and some of the portrait photography tutorials, tips and tricks on how to protect your work, how to neutralize contracts, how to price your photography, and get the best out of your photography as well. But if you want to connect with me for those sponsorships out there, if you want to connect with me on a Bexy level, you can absolutely do that by going to my LinkedIn account, the Panda Photographer. But as you can see, trying to answer messages on there and trying to apply to other opportunities. This is a really good platform, I believe, and it could be a little bit better. But right now, this is where I source all my content and communication skills and communicating with people around the world. But with that said, everyone, so let's jump back into me. So what gear? First, we're going to talk about cameras. Then we're going to talk about lenses. Then we're going to talk about laptops if you are traveling. And we're going to talk about desktops. But we're going to talk about the types of photography. And we're going to talk about why you should utilize social media and have a following, because it's going to help you grow. Now, first and foremost, take this video with a grain of salt. I'm going to introduce this photographer. I don't like to use the word professional photographers because it sounds so cocky. So, from now on, this photographer sounds really nice. I think that's the way to go, in my opinion. I've been doing this for a long time, even though I went to school for something else. But been shooting since I was a kid, so that should make some sense to you guys. Hopefully it does. But with that said, everyone, let's get into APS-C sensors. Now, APS-C cameras are really good for sports, wildlife, fast motion, even time lapse. I use crop sensors all the time. Yes, I use full frames too, but crop sensors, if you're using telephoto lenses, it gives you that extra reach that you're looking for without using a converter. But if you add a converter to that body, that's an option. Now, take this with a grain of salt. These are the cameras. I didn't just pick a brand. I just put APS-C cameras and showing you guys that you can choose any camera of your choice. It's based on your choice now. You do not, and I repeat, you do not have to follow another photographer's way of thinking when it comes down to their art of photography, because your art of photography is so much different from the other person's. So hold on one second. Let me try to okay. So I have a video. Why is this not popping up? There we go. I'm gonna do this instead. So, because I want you guys to see my face as well as I'm explaining this to you. So these are the APS sensors that you can choose based on your category of photography. Make sure that you choose the category that you'd like to actually do your photography and feature your photography on your Instagram, Facebook, or your website or social media. It's important that you understand why APS-C cameras are never going to die, because I hear this rumor a lot about APS-C cameras is going to fade away and die. That's not true, because the innovation for APS-C is growing as fast as full frame, and full frame is now catching up to APS-C cameras, in my opinion, because there's so much potential behind APS-C sensors, how they work, how the back eliminated sensor works, especially on Sony's, or for a reason of the fact how Canons work really nicely with video, or sometimes with Fuji's. Fuji's X-T3 is amazing. Do recommend, if you're into Fuji cameras, you like Fuji brands, you like the color science behind it all, that's your choice. Don't take, like I said, take this video with a grain of salt. This is just my opinions on these cameras, so you can choose from any camera on Amazon. Yes, this is an Amazon link, and I do provide some links down below to some top cameras that I do recommend in the descriptions below. So, and some lighting gear that I'm using. But you can see from this is that these are the options. These are the option cameras for APS-C that you can choose from. Now, full frame might be the better option for you photographers. Maybe you want to use full frame. Maybe you want that separation when taking portraits, or you want that extra dynamic range when it comes down to landscape photography. Maybe you want to do, let's say, time lapse and full frame and 4K. Mind you, crop sensitive cameras can shoot 4K as well, but I digress. But anyway, I just want to show you that Pentax is on this list, Canon is on this list, everyone is on this list. This is not a biased video. This is a video to provide some context to what you may want to purchase in the future or right now. If you are a person about to get into photography, you may want to actually think about your choices, because there's so many choices out there and you can't decide which one because you don't want to make that mistake. I get that. I get that you don't want to make the mistake to make the wrong purchase and don't like the camera later on. This is why you should go to your local camera store and test the camera of your choice. Camera Conspiracies, which is a great channel, he brings the joy back into photography, and I do recommend subscribing to his channel. This is not a plug and anything. I just like that humor, and that's why more photographers should do it and stop being serious all the time. David Oyster is another photographer that brings joy, laughter, humor into the art of photography. So everything doesn't have to be 100% serious. It can be 70% serious and 30% laughter and humor. So take this with a grain of salt. Make sure that you're mentally ready to get into invested in photography gear. If you're not, then don't. Start off with something small, like a point and shoot, and then work your way up. That's what I recommend. But from these options, you got the Sony A7, A7 III, S7R3. There's a lot of Sony, Canon EOS 6D Mark II. You got the Nikon D750. You got the Panasonic and Luminous S1 full frame, which definitely recommended because that is the camera that I want. I want to test it. I want to play with it. I want to shoot video with it. I want to shoot portraits with it. I want to do as much as possible with that camera, even though financially I cannot afford any Leica lenses. Ugh. Who can these days? Come on. But Sigma is absolutely making all the series of lenses for the L mount. So anyway, you got Sony again, you got Nikon, you got Olympics here, you also got Nikon, Canon again, and the list goes on and on and on. So how about that? You know? So if you're thinking about full frame, you want that nice bokeh, you want that separation in portraits or landscapes, you want that dynamic range, you want to do weddings, or do you want to do time-lapse, you want to do astrophotography, which I recommend with APS-C or full frame. But I think, in my opinion, I think full frame does slightly a better job with astrophotography than APS-C, even though APS-C had caught up and could be comparable in some cases with certain camera bodies and manufacturers, but that doesn't mean that the lens that you choose will be adequate enough. Now, take this with a grain of salt again. I can shoot actual photography with a kit lens. And really, all you need is an f2.8 lens and a wide lens. 14, 16, if you want to go 16, 14, 12. If you go stretch it a little bit at 10, you can. But that will look a little bit weird, in my opinion. But, like I said, and when it comes down to like lenses, it's up to you guys. Now, take this with a grain of salt. Once again, lenses may be optional based on how you're shooting. If you're doing weddings, I recommend a zoom lens. Maybe like something like a 17 to 35. Use a 15. Definitely use a 85 if you're trying to get, you know, shots of the groom or the bride. That's something that you may want to invest. And you may want to invest in a wide angle lens. Now, this is why I'm telling you, you may want to invest in zoom lenses because it has a difference in focal length. You can change focal lengths from 17 to 35 or 18 to 35 or 15 to 30 to, it depends on the situation, especially for landscape photographers or event photographers out there that are doing party events, birthday parties, celebrity parties. It does make sense to invest in a zoom lens, but make sure it's at an f2.8 if you could afford it. Now, there's nothing wrong using kit lenses that are from 17 to 200 because sometimes those 70 to 200s, say like a f 5.6 when you're doing a party event, those work really well, and it could be very more efficient and you can save money. So always look for deals with crop sensor cameras or full frame cameras that do provide with the lens. Sometimes it costs a little bit more extra, but if you have that money to invest in a camera with the lens, please be my guest. Be my guest and to look into it. Do the research. Do the proper research for your budget, because I know a lot of people, like myself included, I'd make some really bad mistakes and choices. Going broke for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, spend my money on camera gear. Yes, you can call me a camera whore if you want, but still, this camera whore loves gear. You know why? Because I understand the gear. I know what to buy and what to buy when I need it. In a few days, I might just surprise you. Someone's sending me something special. Ooh, juicy. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know that, yeah, it's a thing that you may want to think about. And this is from my point of view as a photographer, and been doing this for quite a long time. Photography can be a mess. Photography could be great. But nothing in this world that we do in photography is going to be perfect. Now, some of you guys might say, I want the best lens for the best pictures, but it's not about the gear. It's the person behind the camera that takes the shot that understands composition, color balance, why you should use a gray card, white balance card. Hey, I use it all the time when I'm actually doing these videos on live stream. It's so important. So important. But as a travel photographer, I take a lot of risk. And this is why I invest in gear that may suit me. It may not suit me later on. I might send it back. This is why I like to not doing a plug with Amazon, because Amazon has caused me some problems lately. But this is why I like to use Amazon or B&H or Amarama. Use things for 30 days. If it doesn't work out, send it back. Get your money back. No questions asked. So, or you can, if you live in New York City, you want to go to B&H, you can stop by the 34th Street downtown store. Is it on 33rd? No, it's on 33rd or 32nd Street. Well, just stop by the store. 34th, sorry, it is on 34th. 34th Street. Stop by the store. Play around with some gear. Get some professional advice about gear. Now, you can listen to other photographers on this platform, which is YouTube. You can say, hey, I'm looking for something particular, and maybe you may get the right answer from the right photographer. Trust me, I might not be the right photographer for every question that you may ask me, but at least I can provide you with some context and the right direction who to talk to. So with that said, everyone, if you like the content so far, please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you would think. Which lens would you pick and why? Why would you pick that lens, and what category of photography that you will shoot with that lens? Because a lot of lenses could be very versatile, like micro lenses could be very versatile. Zoom lenses are very versatile. I use a lot of things, all my lenses for video and photos. So with that said, everyone, I hope you guys are having a mediocre Monday, because my Monday morning has been a little bit awkward but stressful. But the good thing is that I'm alive, and that's what matters. So, and I'm here, and I'm happy to be here to provide you some content to share my experience as a travel photographer. And I've been robbed twice, gun pointed. I've been told give up my shit before I get stabbed. Yeah, I've been to those places, and you know, I've been lost items. I have broken cameras before. I have gotten things taken from me from customs. So this is why another thing is that you should invest. But we talked about full frame and crop APS-C cameras, which is one of top 5 musts. Then we talk about lenses. So mind you, cameras we talked about, and lenses. So what does that say? That number 1, look for the right camera body. The right camera body is going to suit you really, really well. Then look for the lens that is going to be compatible for what you're shooting. And make sure that when you shoot, you don't need to have these big fancy lenses. You don't need the G Master or these Canon L mount lenses. No, just find something. Rokinon is another option. Samyang is another option. Even Rokinon is actually North America, but Samyang is the main primary manufacturer that produces these lenses. But anyway, with that said, everyone, so what is next? Laptops. Now we're going to talk about laptops, portability. Choose a laptop with an idea of color science and some tech. So I had this, oh man, I lost my train of thought for a second. So the concept of buying one of these laptops and investing in one of these laptops is because you really want to make sure that this is the laptop you're going to want. It has to be suitable for what you're doing as a photographer or content creator. Because photographers are also content creators like myself on this platform. So you want to find a laptop or a desktop PC with good specs. Now I'm going to talk about 2 things about computers, alright? So you got to have a better understanding. Always look for a laptop that has good sRGB, TSNC, and Adobe RGB. Always look for screens that have good color accuracy. That's a must. Just because a laptop has good hardware doesn't mean that that display is going to be so good. There's a lot of laptops out there that just have bad color representation. So don't go by the brand, don't go by the popularity, go by what you need. Because some of these gaming laptops or workstation laptops are suitable for those needs. Now, take this with a grain of salt, that I also have a gaming laptop. I did the research. I knew what I was getting into. I knew how to invest into this particular laptop. I even changed the display from a 1080p to a 4K display and kind of fixed the colors a bit so I can get it right. It's not perfect, but it's close to nothing. So, I mean, it's closer to it can be in colors, better than nothing. So, keep that with a grain of salt. But here it is, laptops. make sure you have a dedicated GPU. That is a must. If you're going to do live streams, working your editing on your laptop at the same time, this is right now the camera that the Sigma 1835, the Sony A77, this Zoom H4n Pro, the monitor, the phone, the mouse, the Wacom tablet to do my editing when I do portraits. All of this lighting, all this stuff is connected to this laptop and is holding strong and shooting in 1080p 60 frames a second. So this should give you some clarification why I say do research very carefully when you buy one of these laptops. Now if you're buying a desktop, do the same thing with the hardware, but also make sure that you have enough to buy a really good color accuracy monitor. That monitor is going to help you distinguish. It's going to help you distinguish yourself from the rest of the photographers. Like, ooh, I love the colors on that. That's what people say. Even I say on Instagram when I go to other people's photography Instagrams, IGs I call them. I'm like, oh my god, that's sexy. Oh, I love that colors. I love the bokeh. Or I love the dynamic range. I like how the colors are separated from each other in this landscape photo. So do the research when you're looking for a monitor for your home desktop computer. So, and make sure that the hardware that you are going to buy is going to be very adequate enough to do live streams, edit video, edit your photos, and do a lot more. So, it's a must. So, that's number 3 out of top 5 must-dos. Number 4. Oops. If I can't get my mouse to work. Photography types. You got abstract to wildlife. So, if you are going to invest in the camera, invest in all this gear, and invest in all the gear that you want to do photography, beginner or intermediate or amateur or professional, try to pick the category that is going to be suitable for you. But, from my experience, I love them all. I love them all. Why? Because they give me something to do. If I stick with one category, that's all I'm going to do. Is just going to shoot for that one category. That's not the photographer life that I want to live. The photographer life should be based on how you will be able to share your experience with another photographer. I learned from this category, then I moved on to this category, then I moved on to this category, then I moved on to this category. People love that you're willing to expand yourself to other categories of photography. Hey, some photographers never shot landscape. They're professional, they know how to do it, they just don't want to do it. Why? They don't think it's exciting. So we have to try to open our minds a little bit. Try to think outside the box for a second here. If you say did adventure photography, then you did architecture photography, then you did astrophotography, what would you learn from these 3 things? Think about it. What would you learn? Rule of thirds, composition. The 10 composition rules are on my website at 646studios.com. Read through those. You can maybe understand where to go in that direction. With all 3 of these categories here, what you're learning is composition, right? You have to make sure that you get the composition right, line up to the horizon, or make sure everything is balanced. And you have to balance things out, and make it look beautiful. So, with these black and white photographies, you got Pocora, you got Candids, you got Cityscape, you got commercial. Oh my god, you got composite photography, you got creative photography, you got documentary photography, drone photography, editorial photography, event photography, family photography. You know how family gets when they want to get together with photos. It's a mess. You know how that is, right? You try to get your families together, but your family's arguing with each other. They're fighting over who took the last biscuit, or who ate the last cheesecake, or who drank the last beer. Man, you men. But you get what I'm saying. Fashion photography, fine art photography, food photography. You got golden hour, which is my favorite. Indoor photography, or which, infrared photography, which you can do underwater as well. You gotta use certain lenses. You gotta use certain filters, like a red filter if you're shooting underwater. Landscape photography, lifestyle photography, long exposure photography, micro photography, Milky Way photography, which is the same category as astrophotography, minimalistic photography, mobile photography with your mobile phone. Yes, it's a thing. So night photography, pet photography, journalism, portraits, product photography, real estate photography, seascape photography, social media photography. There's so many categories in photography. It it might just go on, not forever, but just goes on. Sports, wildlife, street, time lapse, which I do love so much. Travel photography, which I absolutely recommend. But urban exploitation, you can do that as well. Or war photography, if you're a journalist and you want to get into documenting what the true problems in the world are, and the problems that we are having in the world is that humans want to take over and conquer. One wants to spy on the other, but one doesn't want that person to spy on them. It's a mess. Wedding photography, wildlife photography. So you guys have a good idea. So that's number 4. Why you should absolutely take the time out and see what category that you want to shoot in. There's so many out there, so many choices, so many ideas coming from you as the community. So, but with that said, everyone, thank you for watching it this far. If you do like the content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe to the channel, make sure that you hit that like button. Oh, hey, Dumb. Oh, yeah, that Dumb button. Hit that. Hit that. But also, if you want to support what I do to keep the lights on here, there's a PayPal donation link down in the description below. It really does help me out, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, everyone, so what we learned so far? We learned how to make smart investments in camera gear. We learned that we can not, jeopardize our future by spending all our money on the most impractical gear that we probably never going to use or never going to use or understand, because having big cameras or the best lenses doesn't mean shit. Yeah, that's just facts. Doesn't mean a thing at all. It just means that you're willing to spend money and go broke for this gear that you don't know how to use yet. This is why I say start with something light, work your way up, and then work your way up like a ladder. You know how the flight of steps go up? It's just common sense. But with that said, everyone, hope you guys do like the content. And I'm so calm today for some reason. I don't know why. Normally I'm just like all over the place and stuff like that. But I'm watching these, I'm looking at these window washers here. Oh my god, they clean windows every day. Goddamn Vancouver. But anyway, number 5, social media and websites. Online. Let's just say online. How about that? Number 5, online. Interaction, communications, sharing, development, opportunity, investment. So, why social media and built-in a platform for yourself? Getting your name out there. Why is that so important? Why do you want people to see your work? Because you want to show people that there's better things in life than fancy fucking cars, and you also want to show people that there's more to life and then you should enjoy it. And these are my moments, and these are the moments I've captured. With these moments, I can make you happy. And a lot of people forget about the art of photography, that it brings a smile to everyone's faces. even if it's a sad photo, it brings some emotion into the face. And I feel like if you are a photographer and you don't bring that concept to, if you don't bring that concept to the art of photography and you forget that emotion, then maybe you should step back a little bit and really evaluate yourself a little bit, if I'm saying that correctly. Because most people, they get in photography just to make money. They don't care about what the client wants. They don't care about what you want. It's what they want to make money off. They think this is going to be an easy way to make money, when it's not. It's a competitive field. And the only way to do that is you gotta connect with the community, and you have to connect with those that understand, and you have to teach those that life is full of joy and memories. Treasure those memories. And as photographers, we capture those memories, and the memories last a lifetime. So websites are important. Social media, like my LinkedIn account. This is my way of contacting with a certain brand or labeling myself as a freelance photographer that is willing to travel, but I don't work for free. No. I made a video about that. Don't ever work for free if you're good at something that you do. But this is my way of communicating with certain brands or trying to target a certain demographic audience from a certain region. I like to connect with all regions. Doesn't matter if you're Pacific, European, North America, South America, the North Pole, Antarctica. Don't give a shit where you're from. I want to just reach out and touch someone, not physically. Just like, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, this is my social media and things that I like, things that I'm connected with brands, jobs, opportunities as well. The more jobs you do, even when you start out, you may have to start out with working for free, one time per client. Don't do it multiple times because they take advantage of you. That means they like your work. If they like your work, they should pay for your work. Or like Instagram, another good way of sharing your content and sharing your photos and sharing your life experiences. Most people use IG for dumb reasons, and they make tons of money of it. You can do product photography and share the product photography, and maybe some brand would hire you to do a Nike shoot, or Adidas shoot, or a Reebok shoot, or Columbia, North Face, Gucci. You never know. Share it, because the more people that like it, the more people that can understand, wow, this person is really amazing. And sharing stories. It doesn't have to be the perfect photo. It's the memory that counts. So that's important. And building up a website to share content. And as you can see, my website is not fully ready. To be honest with you, I feel like I can do a little bit better because I did everything from scratch. Which is like, I know. But you got Squarespace. Overrated. I physically want to do my own website so I know how to do web tools. So I can know how to manage my SEOs. I really want to emphasize that. This is just me. You may want to be different, but Squarespace does save time. Nope, this is not a plug for Squarespace. And no, I am not sponsored by Squarespace. No. Sorry. So, yeah, it's important that you have these social medias. Facebook, even though lately Facebook had another freaking data breach, and now they want to sell your personal photos to make money. Facebook, just stop it, please. If I'm not getting a cut from that, then don't use my photos. I just feel that there's a violation there that we can fight against that, because my photos, some of my photos I don't want to share, and some I do want to share. This is why I put them in folders. This is why I put things in private. This is why some people can't see my private photos. Why would you go beyond that reach and take that privilege away from me and take a photo from that private photo and then try to market it? But then again, if Facebook can provide you some revenue, then go for it. But social media is important. It's important that you get your name out there, get your photos out there. That's number 5. Okay? Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm just saying that social media is a great way to share your content, and online. Let's just say online. Great way to share your content throughout the world. Make sure that you watermark everything. I do have a tutorial how to watermark your photos. So if you go to season 1 in the Lightroom tutorials, I have it down in my playlist. You can go and see. I have all of them categorized. Season 1 and season 2. Go to season 1. How to watermark your photos and how to put copyright information onto your photos. So those that try to steal your photo and people that are smart enough to look at the photo's metadata will say, you didn't take that photo, you douchebag. You're stealing people's photos. Yeah, this is how you catch them in that. But always protect your photos. Always know how to crop. I do have a tutorial on how to crop it for website development. Also for uploading high res. Basically uploading low res images but making them look high res without losing quality that much. So I do have a video on that and it's pretty promising. So you may want to check that out. But with that said, everyone, it's important that you go ahead and try to invest in these 5 tips, these 5 musts. Okay, so you got cameras, you got lenses, you got the hardware, and you got the online community. So 5 top musts to get yourself noticed as a photographer, as a beginner photographer. It's important. So we learned a few things today that as a photographer, it is not easy. There's always a learning curve to everything that we do. And everything that we do here helps another person in need. Because when you pay for it, it's going to make you feel better. But it's going to also make you feel even better when you're able to give back giveaways, sharing ideas, sharing tips, like I am. I love giving back, but sometimes people just want to be dicks and want to actually take the happiness away by leaving negative comments, which is criticism, which it's not a bad idea. Leave a bad comment. That means you watch my content, you either like my content, and that's why you commented so badly. So think about it for a second. Why do people leave bad comments? Because in honesty and truthfully, they actually do love your content. They're just ashamed to admit it because they think they could do better. Okay, if you could do better, then let's see it. Stop buying gear or whatever you're doing at your mommy's home or what you do at home, and get off your ass and let me see you do it. So, I've been traveling as a travel photographer for the last 2.5 years, ever since I got my studio robbed in New York, which is another story. Then I went back to Japan for a little bit to go see my parents. That didn't work out very well. And then I moved to Paris, and then came back into the States and moved back out, and now I'm back in the States, and I went out and back. I'm all over the place. But that gives me some experience to share with you. Other videos will have more content on, how to travel with photography gear, which I did make a video about that. And when TSA started making new rules here in North America, oh boy, that really tore me up. I really wanted to become like Superman. It's if I had the power of Superman, I teach TSA a lesson. Now, I understand they have to protect people, but the way they handle your gear when they can't afford to replace, it's so unprofessional. So, with that said, everyone, I'm the Panda Photographer. If you like what you have heard so far, please do like and share the share the video. Share the video, and please do leave your thoughts down in this in the comments down below. It really does help me out. Now, if you want to support what I do financially, to keep the lights on, to keep me doing more content like this, there's a PayPal donation link. You don't need a PayPal account to donate. Okay? Any amount would do. It helps. But so let's go back to what I said about 30 minutes ago. Yes, so in a few days, actually in 2 days, I will have something special. Yeah, someone's sending me something special. Actually, there's quite a few people that want to send me something special. No, we're not talking about dildos. We are talking about camera gear. Yo, yeah. Now, I'll give you a hint. Mr. Conspiracies was talking about purchasing the right gear. And basically, he has the GH5, right? He's been playing around with the color science and stuff like that. But, that's the hint. That's all I'm going to give you. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. And no, it's not him that's sending me anything. I don't think he would want to send you anything other than his awesome t-shirts. But anyway, yeah. So if you want to subscribe to Camera Conspiracies channel, great humor. You have to watch his channel. He adds a little bit of what I'm looking for. The word I'm looking for is entertainment and photography. None of us, even I, don't provide that. That's why he's so different from the rest of us. He's a creative mind that should have been here a long time ago. Because back when I was beginning this new channel, because I have 3 channels, everyone was trying to be competitive of providing Sigma lens reviews on, or the new Sony A7R II camera. Everyone was basically pancaking each other. It's like, my video is better than your video. No, my video is better than yours video. That stuff is just mindless, childish behavior. And that's what Camera Conspiracies avoids. He avoids all that junk of garbage what people are saying. He tries to add a little bit of humor, laughter, a little bit of weirdness to his videos, which I enjoy so much. Because you don't see channels like that anymore. You don't. And I applaud him. So go subscribe to his channel. Go. Get out of here. And go watch his content. You don't have to watch me anymore. But yeah. So, yeah. And with that said, I do hope you guys like the music as well. So, it does help the channel grow. But what I'm going to be doing this summer is, I was going to not tell anyone, but I got my approval visa to go to Netherlands. So, trying to stay in the Netherlands for a year. So, hopefully that comes through. Hopefully I get approved for a loan. So, if I don't, I guess I'm going to have to hire some of you guys to help me rob a bank. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah. I got my approval to go to Netherlands again, so I'm happy about that. But financially, it's not there yet, because as you guys have noticed, that I've been dealing with a tax problem, financial problem, you know, and suing people using my images. It's just, it took the life out of me. It literally took everything that I had to put everything back in control. And I'm not sure if you understand how I feel about that, but let me explain how that feels. You save up money, then when you do save up money, it's gone because you have to financially support and protect what is rightfully yours. And you feel like no one's in your corner sometimes, and you have people that are in your corner, but they can't do nothing much. All they can do is show moral support. And you feel like there's got to be a way to justify all these wrongs. And people just abuse the system. And it drives me a little bit, it doesn't drive me insane, it makes me curious. Where do we see ourselves in 20 years from now? dominating each other, going to war about dumb shit. It doesn't really matter. This is why I love photography. I love capturing moments. But my moments are being abused, taken away from me. People using my images and making tons of money because of that image. You have a right to protect and get what's rightfully yours. So don't be afraid to fight what's rightfully yours. If you can't afford it, don't worry. Someone out there will speak for you as a voice. If you have a community, oh yeah, and YouTube is a good way to share that community experience. So I do recommend it. But it's about that time, guys. We got 9 minutes into the live stream, so I guess I'm going to end this live stream a little bit 9 minutes earlier. So with that said, please support the channel. Arigato. Thank you for everyone that has supported me throughout the winter. It's been a very interesting winter, I have to say. But at the end, I'm still alive. You're still alive. And that's what counts. So go out there, take some beautiful photos, and make sure, oh, by the way, if you like me, try to filter frame. Don't waste megapixels. But yeah, I don't like wasting megapixels, but sometimes I have to sometimes. So, like I said, nothing's perfect. But if you guys are curious about the gear that I'm using, let's recap some of that stuff here, okay? So, right here is what you're listening to my beautiful and ugly voice. It's a Zoom H4n Pro with no pop filter, as you can see. No pop filter. Oh yeah. I'm using the Sennheiser HD 280 Pro modern headphones. These are such good headphones. These came out about 5-6 years ago, and it's still $100 to $110. These things are so good. But right here is the Fujitech FT568 monopod selfie stick stand. I use it as a monopod. I use it as a selfie stick. It reaches far. Yes, I'm that Asian enough to buy something like this, and comes with a Bluetooth remote to access your phone, so you can go click. Nice. The Logitech G602 gaming mouse, but I use it as a gaming mouse and a workstation mouse. I programmed the G keys or micro keys for functionality usage for like Lightroom, Photoshop, etc. etc. This is my Lenovo Y700 SE gaming laptop. It had 32 gigabytes of RAM. I'm only using SSDs for a reason, because SSDs are more practical for me when I'm working or video editing. It writes and reads very fast. I'm using the Wacom Intrus tablet for my editing, retouching, or touching up on portraits, mostly for portraits. Landscapes, sometimes I use for landscapes to get certain things, certain spots out of my image. Let's see here. I'm using a best cable. What is this? It's called Best Able Cam monopod for my newer F100 monitor, which I'm monitoring in my video right now. The Manfrotto 190 Gold tripod sitting on the Endura Q08 Pro fluid head, which I need to fix. The Sony A77 with the Sigma 1835 with the Pixel TW283 wireless remote. That's why I have this. And I'm using the Aperture H198C with a Godox. By the way, I'm using a Godox 24x24 softbox diffused, the inner diffuse right now to soften the skin of my beautiful brown skin. Ooh, yeah. No, I'm kidding. What else am I using? The newer CN160 LED light that you see right there before you, which is giving me a nice fill light right here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. How's my skin, guys? How's my skin? Pretty good? It's pretty good, right? Okay. And got a bunch of other products in the background to like not have that space empty, fill it in for the content. And I have to break everything down, put everything back in the pelican case in my book bags, and go off on my way. So this is not my permanent studio, but I'm using whatever studio that I can actually get, whatever library resources I can get my hands on to have a private room or whatever. But what else that I'm using here? Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And yeah. Oh, so with that said, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out and hearing me out as a travel photographer. I'm the Independent Photographer, also known as Kiki Alexander, the Nature Bailey. You can find me at 616studios.com. But with that said, eat, sleep, photography, videography, repeat. And I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Happy shooting.